Hi, so I'm Susan Clare, Gourmet Quilter. I'm sure most of you know that by now. I'm just here to wish you some greetings of the season. We're having a whole wonderful time. Apparently it's summer. We've had a little couple of damp days here, but it's summertime and I'm having a little bit of a break from some of the tutorials and things, so I'm not actually here to show you how to do something today. I thought instead we'd have a little look at my studio and I'll show you some of the work that I've been doing all this year. This has been a very weird year for the world. We have, of course, had little bacon and eggs because I'm the gourmet quilter. Other than that, this is my studio, which is currently quite tidy because I'm not actually working on anything right this minute. And so just around, so I've got behind me here my quilt that I can pin things to. I've got a little work surface over here. I've got my machine, of course. I have my tables. The tables come up and down, which is really nice when I'm working on things. And then just generally, I've got a whole lot of, we won't call it clutter. I have a whole lot of very inspiring things around me in here. I have all sorts of bits hidden away in little cases, little boxes. I like all these things. And I've got a wonderful outlook into the garden from here as well. So I just thought maybe this would be of some interest to you rather than me actually making things today. And so right out into my garden, through the window, I've got a wonderful outlook out there. Probably not quite as easy to see through the glass on the camera, but I think you get the general idea. So what we might do now is go into another room where I've set out all the quilts and applique and things I've been doing, just to give you a little recap of what I've done this year. So I thought I'd show you initially the 5 blocks of the day. This room is set up magnificently at the moment. A little overpowering with 5 years of quilt in here, but never mind. We started off doing block of the day with that town and country quilt. You will have seen these quilts before, and it's still being quite popular. It's now in a book form, which is wonderful. And then, so that was the first block of the day I did. Then I moved on and we did the Daily Dot, which was the story of a little girl called Dot, who's part of the family Dot, and everything is a little dotty, and they're all pictures in dots. Again, a whole year of little dot pictures. And then the next block of the day that we did was this fun one here. This was a dapple a day, so really just a little shape. A dapple was just my name for a little bit of fun, really. And it's all quilt as you go. So as we made it, we did the little rectangles and joined it all up. So by the end of the year, everything was completely finished, which was kind of exciting for the end of a whole year's work. And then over here, I've got the 4th block of the day that we did. And this is the sketch a day. So this one was, again, a huge amount of fun. We also did that one quilt as you go, but we did that one in rows rather than individual little blocks to quilt as you go. And it's all just different applique shapes, a different one for each day of the year, not particularly relating in any other way. It was a matter of, for me, finding things that fitted in a little narrow rectangle. So that was my challenge. And we've also used the Inktense pencils on that one for some shading and extra little colour here and there. So that was a whole lot of fun that year. And then this year, as you probably know, we've been doing this bento block of the day. And here it is hanging. And it's just looking quite magnificent. And this was Japanese inspired. There's a whole lot of these little kokeshi dolls in here, which I particularly like. And I was fortunate to be able to get to go and see some places where they're made and displayed over in Japan when I was there. So that's 5 years of block of the day, and then I'll show you around some of the other things that I've been doing as well. So you may be aware that this year I've been running a 2020 Tasty Treats program. So I thought I'd just give you a quick glimpse into how that's gone. It's gone amazingly well. It's kept me very busy, and I know it's kept some of you very busy as well. This was a Christmas 2020, so the 2020 program was 20 designs that over 20 days with videos and patterns if you signed up for it. And so this was kind of the Christmas. Most of this here was in it. Some of the things have crept in that were not part of the series, but we had some Christmas ornaments and Santas and table settings and cards and all sorts of things you might want to make towards Christmas. Then I did several applique series as well. This was a series of 20 different applique blocks on things that go. So we've got all sorts of vehicle type things going there. This was another series that we did on applique. This was on things you might find in the sewing room. So there's a whole lot of fun stuff of things that might appear perhaps in your sewing room or not. You may not have a whole sewing room, you might just have a portion, but things that you'd find for that reason. And then over here we did a whole series on things you might make with 2.5-inch strips, and we had a whole lot of fun with this. We've got some little otidama balls in a bag, and we've got little fabric baskets and bags and some flowers, some little coiled bowls that we use the strips for, table runners, placemats, little bags, wallets, pencil cases, even little dollies made out of 2.5-inch strips. So we've just really had an enormous amount of fun. Then over here we've got a series that I ran using 20 fat quarters. So anything on this table here, and including the big floor cushion, which is hugely exciting. I love that floor cushion. And my grandchildren really like that floor cushion. So this has been a lot of fun. We started with 20 fat quarters, and we cut them all the same, and we added in borders and backgrounds. So we've got quite a few quilts in here as well as all the other smaller items. So the 20 fat quarters spread across 20 items, and we brought in some backgrounds and borders and bindings. So that's kind of been a really good series to show how far 20 fat quarters can go. And then here we've got 20 different pincushions. Now it may look like there's more than 20 here, and that's probably because there's 2 of everything. So I need to make 2 of a lot of things when I'm doing the tutorials, because I need to have a sample and then I need to be making it for the video as well. So definitely with the pincushions there's 2 of each. So lots of different pincushions. We could sail away. We've got room to put clips and pins. We've got little roosters, which again you can clip onto. We've got little toads, little houses. So cute, all these little things. This little guy here that sits in the top of your cotton spool. So that was a really fun one for doing pincushions. Lots of ways of storing pins and other things that we use these days. And then we had some more of the applique series here. So this was applique trees. So I've got lots of different tree type things, all sorts of trees in that series. This series here was applique cats, and we've got all sorts of cats going on here, doing things that cats like to do. Sometimes they're sleeping, sometimes they're just turning their back on you. Cats are good at that. Then we've got a series here that was applique again. We did 20 different applique series. So this was one on all different applique houses. And we know that we can do houses because we've done a whole quilt of houses which is hanging up behind. We did a series here on things in the playroom that you might find in a playroom. So things like robots and hobby horses and wind-up chickens, balls, dolls' houses. Pretty much you name it, we had it going in the playroom. So that was kind of fun for that lot. Then we had a very delicious series here called Yum. Now imagine yum. Yum must be yummy. So we've got lots of things going on here that are quite yum. Cakes and jellies and afternoon tea. Oh my goodness, it's making me hungry just looking. So that was applique Yum. And here's another applique series, and this was all about flowers. So kind of stylized, simplified, little folk arty type flowers. Whole lot of fun for flowers. And these can all the applique series could have been used together. The blocks are different sizes, they could have been mixed around. So, and we started off the year with a sampler house. So we've got all these houses. I haven't put all my blocks together yet, but 20 different sampler blocks of houses. So that was a really fun series. We did a series of 20 different foundation pieced blocks. So these were just small blocks, but again, kind of fun. You can fit a whole lot of detail in when you do foundation piecing, because you can do all sorts of different shapes and things because it's foundation pieced. Not everybody's preference to do foundation piecing, but for those of us who like to do it, it's kind of fun. Then another sampler block series, 20 sampler blocks again, but this time the little blocks were just little. So inside the pear, each time is a little block. So that's just a 3-inch block. So 20 different blocks for the pear sampler. This was another series that I did. This was called the pocket book, and this has just got pockets everywhere. So you can carry it around, you can store it, as you can see, it'll stand up like a book full. And inside was lots of different pages with lots of different types of pockets that you could do. So we've got zippers and Velcro and little gusseted pockets and all sorts of things going on in there, different ways of putting zippers in, and little elastic pockets. So really just an exercise in having a go at lots of different ways of making different pockets, and even somewhere to put pencils and things in the back. So a great little book, perhaps for an activity book for a child, somewhere to store all their treasures, not necessarily for children. It would make a great place to store all your sewing little gizmos and things that you might be working on, all sorts of reasons why you'd need a pocketbook. So another thing I did do this year, just while we're here, was this quilt here. This is called In the Poppy Forest, and this was featured in the children's special issue that Quilt Mania put out. So that's come out this year, a couple of months ago, and so this was In the Poppy Forest. We've got this wonderful giraffe living in the poppy forest, and he does have a few little forest friends. Got a little ladybird and spider. There's a little mouse down here, and there's actually even a spider hanging off his tail. So that was In the Poppy Forest for Quilt Mania's children's special. And then just the last couple of applique series that we did in the kitchen. So we've got things that you might find in a kitchen. You've got utensils, you might find herbs, you might find a very delicious cookie jar full of delicious cookies, just all sorts of things, the coffee pot, oil saucepans, things in the kitchen. And then the final series of the appliques is the dogs. So lots of different dogs, 20 in fact, doing things that dogs do. Long dogs, short dogs, hungry dogs, just dogs being dogs. So that was another little fun series there. So lots of fun this year, lots of work this year. What more could you want? 2020 has been a very different year. It did not continue the way we all thought it was going to when it started. I might just take you outside and just show you a little bit of our immediate surrounding, just so you can see what else it is here. So I thought I'd show you out here. There may be a little bit of background noise going on. We live quite close to a fairly busy road, so there's a fair bit of noise comes in at times. However, this is an area that we can just sit at, just spills out from the house. If I'm running a class or something, we can have our morning tea or afternoon tea out here, or our lunch, or we can just sit and watch the view, and it's just starting to rain again. We have what they call here liquid sunshine that just pours out of the sky. And we're getting a little example of that just at the moment. But I thought I'd just show you that it's just wonderful. It's so green and lush. We're in the middle of summer here, apparently. And then I just thought I'd show you around the front of the house as well. So you can see where we've come from on the side there. And I've got my shop in that room inside there. We've got a wonderful front door entrance. And a noisy road today. So if you're still here, thank you. This is the wrap up on my year of 2020. One other thing that did happen to me this year was, and thanks to you because you all watch me on YouTube, I got my silver award for 100,000 subscribers. And that's been very exciting to get something like that as well. I'm just amazed that really, and thank you all for watching, because it's you that have caused that to happen. I've been there, but I couldn't do it without you. So that was it for 2020. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. Do enjoy this time of the season if you're able to. It's very strange all around the world. However, we're so fortunate with technology that we can still get together in ways like this. Thank you.